afternoon and welcome to Pakistan Today from our Islamabad studio. I'm Chris Taylor. U.S. President Donald Trump has issued a new warning to Iran over the Strait of Hormuz, saying Tehran would face severe consequences if it attempts to close the vital waterway. Speaking to Fox News, Trump said the United States could take control of the strategic route if necessary and warned Iran against blocking the passage through which millions of barrels of oil move each day. Trump also suggested Washington may impose tolls on vessels using the route if Iran fails to reach an agreement. In addition, he warned Iran over Hezbollah's activities in Lebanon, threatening stronger strikes if Tehran's regional allies continue what he described as destabilizing actions. The remarks come amid continuing concerns over Iran's nuclear program and broader regional security issues. Iran has strongly rejected President Trump's comments regarding the Strait of Hormuz, describing the threats as empty bluffs. Ebrahim Rezaieh, spokesperson for Iran's National Security and Foreign Policy Commission, said Trump's claims about taking control of the strategic waterway lacked credibility. The response followed an announcement by Iran's Revolutionary Guard Navy regarding restrictions on the key shipping route, while Washington continued to warn of possible measures should negotiations fail to produce a lasting agreement. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has praised the Iranian delegation's approach during quadrilateral peace talks taking place in Bergenstock, Switzerland. Speaking to the media, the Prime Minister said Tehran appears committed to regional de-escalation and noted that both Iranian leaders and President Trump have expressed interest in peace. He also voiced hope for stronger Pakistan-US cooperation. The first round of closed-door discussions between the United States and Iran began with Pakistan and Qatar playing important mediatory roles. Talks focused on regional tensions, sanctions relief, and Iran's energy sector, while Iranian officials reiterated that Tehran remains prepared to respond to threats while continuing diplomatic engagement. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has said that peace requires give and take as American and Iranian delegations began technical negotiations in Bergenstock. Vance described the talks as the start of a process aimed at resolving key disputes and improving regional stability. He thanked President Trump for supporting diplomacy and stated that Washington is prepared to transform relations with Iran if Tehran abandons ambitions to develop nuclear weapons. Vance also praised Pakistan's contribution to the peace process, expressing appreciation for Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Chief of Defense Forces Field Marshal Asim Munir, adding that he has remained in close contact with Field Marshal Munir in recent months. Qatar has announced that technical groups have been formed to negotiate the final clauses of a memorandum of understanding between the United States and Iran. Discussions in Bergenstock are focused on ending hostilities, easing sanctions, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, and addressing issues related to Iranian assets and oil exports. Qatar's foreign ministry said follow-up teams will monitor implementation of any agreement and praised Pakistan's role as a key mediator. Doha also acknowledged diplomatic support provided by Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates. As negotiations continue, the United States and Iran have exchanged sharp statements on social media. Despite the public rhetoric, officials say both sides remain engaged in talks aimed at reducing tensions. Current discussions are centered on a ceasefire framework, sanctions relief, and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Technical working groups are continuing to refine details of the proposed memorandum of understanding, while mediators from Qatar and Pakistan maintain efforts to support a diplomatic outcome. And finally, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt have jointly emphasized the importance of a swift and successful conclusion to the current phase of U.S.-Iran negotiations. In a coordinated diplomatic message, the four countries welcomed ongoing efforts to reduce tensions surrounding Iran's nuclear program and wider regional security concerns. They stressed that continued dialogue remains essential to preventing escalation and establishing a sustainable framework for peace. The statement reflects growing regional support for diplomacy and international mediation efforts aimed at achieving long-term stability in the Middle East. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today. I'm Chris Taylor.